Well, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. I thought I'd make a little gardening video. It's pretty early in the morning, and everybody's just starting to wake up. But I wanted to give you a little preview of some things that'll be going out in the garden, and take a little tour outside. So here we go. Well, our efforts have paid off. Got some nice pepper plants. Temperatures have been pretty cold up until the last, probably 2 weeks. It's King of the North. And we got the red Marconi peppers. And I've got some jalapenos here, along with some extra peppers that need to get potted up, but we got plenty of time. Yeah, really, between I guess now and Mother's Day and Memorial Day weekend, next 3 weeks is really the time to be planting this stuff out. One thing that I found that helped with the heat mat, as far as preventing some of the problems we've had in the past as far as hot spots, is not only just having these trays with water, but having a newspaper down on top of it to kind of mitigate the heat of the mat. I mean, it still transfers the heat, but it adds another layer of protection so that these plants don't get scalded, or not scalded, but burned up. So now let's head outside and take a look. Well, we were gonna head outside, but looks like we got some spring showers. It's raining pretty good, but you can see there's the ground cover out there. I've got a few weeds that I need to pull out, get rid of. I don't know if the camera resolution is going to be good enough to catch the onions over there, but they've really perked up, made a comeback. Peas are starting to climb the trellis. Still got my cold weather plants in the cold frame. Just haven't had time to plant things out like I wanted to. In that Rubbermaid tote over there, I've got tomato plants. I had a layer of burlap that's clipped on the sides on top of that to harden them off. I've got the lid on it right now because of the rain. I didn't want to flood that container. Got some more tomatoes and some trays over there underneath the edge of the roof. And then I've got a whole garden cart full of plants that's in the large garage back there. Again, I've got it inside because of the storms that have come through and not wanting to flood the trays since I'm bottom watering everything. I did plant out my herbs last weekend, and we got the standard, some pretty standard stuff. Rosemary, oregano, chocolate mint, spicy glow basil, start of cilantro. That's actually came back from last year. Some lemon balm and my chives, which I should get some seeds off the chives this year. You see the flower bulbs on those. I've got some volunteer mint, or mint that's seeded outside of the containers. It's a pretty pervasive herb if you let it get out of control. So anyway, it's growing along the side now. Way in the back there you can see the rhubarb. I might just take a step out here. Rain's starting to calm down a little bit. But you can see the ground cover. Oh, now it starts to pick up. But just how well the mulch has broken down into the garden. For the most part, you know, I've done no-till in the backyard here. I've got a broad fork that I use to break up the soil beds. Put a layer of wood chips on it about, I guess, a year and a half ago, and then followed that up this past fall with a layer of mulched leaves. And so there's a nice little cover mulch, and it's breaking down really nice. I mean, you can see how dark everything is. You know, one thing with the wood chips, having them exposed to water, one thing I noticed was having my over here I had a greenhouse set up on top of some wood chips, and one thing I noticed when I took it down this past year, I mean, the wood chips were pretty much in the same condition as they were when I got them. It really hadn't broken down at all, as opposed to the covering that was exposed to the elements the whole year. And so as far as you know, making soil and building the beds, you know, having, you know, it makes sense. The more things are exposed to water, the faster they're going to break down, and the faster you're going to get some nice soil from the inputs that you put on there. So, well, we should get going on some things. I'll try to make some more videos as we plant some things out. Maybe when it's not so wet. So I guess that's all for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Happy Mother's Day. Bye.